What's up everyone, welcome to another Doctor Who review. We are reviewing part 130 of the Great Eaglemoss range, the Doctor Who figurine collection. And today we have the ancient one from the Curse of Fenric. An ancient evil awakes. So this story was broadcast on the 25th of October 1989 and it starred the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. Let's have a look at the magazine and then we will take a closer look at the figure itself. So here we have the contents page telling us what's coming up in the magazine. We've got the description and great detailing look at the figure itself. A moment in time, 6 decades of Doctor Who, part 2, the big ask and the people who. So we'll get onto that in due course. If we turn the page here, we see the Ancient Mariner, a mutant vampire fish person, the last of the Hemivores, was brought back in time to kick off the end of the world but became its saviour. Now just have a look at this picture, it's absolutely like grueling, it's brilliant. It's black and white, but that doesn't matter, that kind of adds to the effect. It absolutely looks horrific. I would love to have that as a poster on the wall in the collection room somewhere. And moving on, we have a very good description here of the figure itself and a lovely colour image of the ancient one. There's a few bits on there, obviously I won't go through and read everything. It's just really a brief overview of the magazine in this review to show you what you will be getting. This page here is really quite interesting. It shows you the designs for the figure and the creation of it originally. There's a guy called Ken True, amazing designs for the ancient one, so you can see where, you know, the ideas came and eventually it came to this. I actually think this is one of the best designs of a monster in classic Doctor Who, full stop. It's quite incredible really what they did in the Curse of Fenric. It is also a great story. And just before we start this bit, we have a 15% off your first order. That's obviously Doctor Who, Star Trek, Walking Dead, anything Eaglemoss, 15% off apparently. So that's quite handy to have, I suppose, if I ever used a website to order something. And moving on to this page here then, the winning moves. With Doctor Who nearing the end in its original run, the production team was still firing on all cylinders, and yes, they certainly were. Some lovely images there of the 7th Doctor and Ace. The Curse of Fenric is a story that everyone rates highly, including myself. Here we have a bit more about the story itself, and there's also some reference to some new series material, and it's really quite incredible really. It also tells you all about when the Doctor has played chess, which is quite a good little read, worth looking at that. And then we've got here the 6 decades of Doctor Who, part 2. This is from April to mid-May 2017, so it tells you what was going on in the Whoniverse back in, well, last year. Not really that long ago. And finally, the big ask. This is always one of my favourite sections of the magazine. There's always some really interesting bits on here to read. We braved the blood-warm waters of Maiden's Point to answer questions raised by Curse of Fenric. So I'll just read out a couple of the questions, and as I say, the answers you can read when you get the magazine. So, how in 1,000 years hasn't the Sundvik surname been altered? It's not a very top secret naval base, is it? Just what is Judson doing in the crypt? Who does Millington think is banging on about rules? There we go, we have the questions. The answers, of course, you can see when you get the magazine. So, a really nice magazine, and one of my favourite parts of the review is always seeing what's coming next, and it's going to be, dun dun dun, a Dalek. This is actually the Dalek from the Magician's Apprentice, so I'm really looking forward to having this. Technically it's a new series figure, and we all know that I don't collect the new series figures, but as it's a Dalek and as it's kind of based very loosely on the Dead Planet Power Dalek, then I'm going to have it. So that'll be in my collection very soon. And without further ado, let's get on to the review of the figure itself. So, as you can see, the figurine, as usual, is absolutely fantastic. I will actually go out on a limb here and say it's one of the best they've done. Eaglemoss is certainly getting better and better and better at doing their figures. The detailing is exquisite. I'm so glad to have this as part of a collection. I just do a little 360 spin. As you can see, it's quite a bulky figure on the top there. It's got all its tentacles and creepy kind of parts to him at the back. And if I continue spinning it around, you can see the detailing just carries on 360 degrees all the way around. It's really, really nice. Now, as always with these figures, they are very delicate. Be careful when, if you're lucky enough like me to be able to buy it from a shop, make sure that it isn't obviously damaged. The arms are quite likely to break like they do on many other figures. So be sure to, really make sure you've got one that isn't broken, because once you buy one and it's broken and you've opened it, you're really kind of screwed. So it's nice to have another monster or enemy or ally. For the 7th Doctor, there isn't as many. I'd like to see a lot more. But overall, I'm really, really happy with how this figure has turned out. It'd be nice to have some Hemovores next to it. Almost, potentially army build them a little bit. I mentioned about army building in a previous video, and I'm still toying with the idea of army building with Eaglemoss, because I think that it could potentially be quite an awesome thing to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. As always, it's quick, it's to the point. I just basically upload these videos so you guys can really get a taste of what it is to have this figure, so you can go out and hopefully choose to buy it for yourselves and enjoy it when you get it. So thanks for watching. I will see you all again very soon in my next video. Until then, take care guys, bye for now.